Say hey. Hi, yeah. Got everybody in here tonight, right? Hey, Tater. Oh, that's it. Good job, buddy. Hey, everybody. You say hi, Tater. So we're doing something new, and I'm using my phone, so hopefully it's a little bit clearer picture for you guys. Let me know if it is. Hi there. We got a special guest, Buzz, is joining us for the live. We've had rain all day, so Buzz has been sleeping in the barn with these boys. Right, Buzz? And you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little indentation in the straw. So he's apparently been a permanent yeah. So is the picture okay, guys? Can you hear me okay? Oh, awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Say hi, Dot. Hey, Tater. So we're doing pretty good for a Friday. Much better from Tater's standpoint. Just been, I guess, slowly just showing little improvement every day. And, that's been really like just a huge stress relief. So he's still, a little bit mellow. But I think, overall he's just looking so much better. His eyes look so much better. The falling is not anything to do with his liver. That is what these guys just do, especially when they get excited. They tend to do a little bit of flopping down, but just because when they get excited, that seems to be kind of what happens. So, right? Uh-oh. You might want to move, Buzz. He was standing over you. So, goodness. I'm sorry about this noise that is happening. I have an alert from my cameras in the barn, and yeah, I'm gonna try to silence it if I can get out of here. So just bear with me for a second, because I have no idea how to get out of this without losing my live. Yeah, hold on one second. Okay, are you guys still there? Okay, I think we're good. Let's see. Are you guys hearing me again? All right, let me know if you guys are seeing this and you're able to hear me. Okay. I think you guys can hear me, hopefully. Um, let let you guys just watch these guys eat. If anybody can hear me or see the boys eating straw, let me know. Since I had to kind of get off live and had to reconnect. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure all this out. Now I see that you can hear me and see them. Thank you, Robin. My chat keeps disappearing, so oh, the technical world of running a sanctuary is just like a huge stress. So I, I I really thought I was a technical person until I started to try to go live and do all this YouTube stuff. So bear with me. Right, boys? We're learning. Learn something new every day. Getting hydrated over there, Buzz? Yeah. All right, cool. So we had a rainy day today, so the boys have been inside all day, literally. So um I think they you know, they're a little restless. Usually at this time of night, they're ready to kind of sack out and um especially Tot because Tot is like our eating machine. He grazes all day long in the field and when we bring them in for the night, he literally, I swear, just plops down and like sleeps from like having a full tummy. But since they've been inside all day, they're still munching away. I think they slept part of the afternoon, but um, and that is Buzz over there getting some water. He he loves these boys and he hangs out with them a lot. I was in here earlier and they were nuzzling each other and he just, he totally trusts them and the boys trust him. Um so so it's kind of a cool friendship. All right. I'm told that I'm really zoomed in. I just don't have a lot of room in here to back up. Let me see if I can get back here. There we go. Is that better, guys? Uh-oh, Buzz. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very cool friendship. Um, I'm really, really lucky that, I mean, all the animals just are amazing friends. And they have formed all these different friendships across the farm. And it's really, 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 really special. And it's special to watch. And I think it just helps them like have another, just a huge comfort to each other. So so for you guys that are new to being live with these guys, we were going live every night. it it enabled actually us to be able to keep an eye on the boys, but in addition to you guys being able to kind of watch them. So, but with Tater not feeling well, we've been kind of just working on with using our other camera systems, and I'm gonna switch here so you guys can hopefully not be too close, but they keep following me, right? Yeah, you guys are too cute. Um, yeah, that's a little close, I think. I think that's a little close. Yeah. um, but like we have it lined with all these bales of straw. You can see so that if they do fall, they're not hitting the walls, which is why you see that. But they have sort of just made it their buffet, and they kind of just go around and eat off the straw, and we put hay on top, and um, they have it pretty good in here, right? There's our boy. Say hi, Tater. Yeah. We got Buzz. We got Tot. Oh, don't hit the phone. So I'm super excited that I can go live on my phone. Not only I think it's a better picture than what normally my little laptop configuration that I have does, but it's also going to let me be able to go live from like all different spots on the farm, um, on weekends, and kind of get to really share a lot more, um, just a lot more of the everyday aspects of the sanctuary, and you guys just getting to see the animals in a kind of a more routine light. So I'm really, really excited. I just got my account updated to go live on my phone, I guess maybe a week ago. So, see, anybody have any questions you want to ask me? Or I can just ramble. I'm good at that too. Right, Tater? Hmm? Yeah. So you can't really tell, but Tater has his side kind of shaved. Um, right where the white is there, you can kind of see it's a little bit shorter. It's hard to see in this light. But that's where he had his ultrasound done for his liver, and they got to see his gallbladder and his bile duct, and they did do another ultrasound on Wednesday when I took him back, in addition to rechecking all the blood work, and it looked definitely better than the previous ultrasound that they had done, I think the 2 weeks prior to that. So we're hoping that he's on the absolute right track and there's no going back from this point. You can see he's definitely eating well, standing well. He's gotten a lot stronger in the last week. So, and our Tot man, he just keeps growing too, and we kind of laugh at Tot. As I said, he's an eating machine. His stomach, if you, it's like you almost want to learn how Tot like kind of loses weight and gains weight. His tummy goes in and out by the day. It's pretty funny. Um, I, from a stress standpoint, it's like I'm like, is this normal? But it's definitely normal for Tot. So He loves to eat. So I have a question. How many of me or you are working on the farm? It must be a lot of work. Um, so it is absolutely a lot of work. Um, and it's kind of an a changing. I have actually two answers for you at this point. My brother and sister-in-law have been living with me for the last year. Um, wasn't quite planned to be that long, but with COVID, some plans changed along the way, and they were here longer, which my sister-in-law is on on the live here. So that's if you see Robin, that's my sister-in-law. And she has fallen head over heels for these boys. So they've been here living with me and have been just a huge help. My brother helps me through the week, and Robin helps me tremendously with these two, and lots of other things along the way as well. So, but fortunately for them, unfortunately for me, they are finally getting their plans in order and will be moving in a couple weeks. So that kind of crew of people that are taking care of the farm becomes honestly it becomes me. I'm the crew. So I do have a few volunteers. I have two volunteers that I think are going to be coming once a month, and then I have another volunteer that will be coming that wants to come that hasn't come yet for the first time, but we'll be getting scheduled in the next couple weeks. And then, obviously looking for lots more volunteers to be able to help me. I would love a volunteer that, would be able to help a little bit during the week when I'm at work, just to be able to kind of do some of the daily routine. But I just haven't had a huge amount of luck in terms of finding anyone local, just because I'm in a really small town. Um, so, but my brother has gotten the farm ready for his departure in the best fashion that he could possibly do, in terms of getting every single project done and getting out like all the different animal quarters and just trying to make everything as efficient as possible for me. And that's going to be a huge help for me in the next few months. So I appreciate that. You might want to ask you might want to you might want to hold the outstanding part until ask me in a couple months how it's going. Hopefully I can pull it off. I do it on, they're obviously not here every weekend and I do most of the weekends. So, um, I can definitely handle it. But um, the sanctuary world or the sanctuary life, I guess is what we call it, is 365 days, 20, it's just you never get a day off, so the animals have to, be taken care of, and unless you do have a good volunteer base or someone that lives near you that push up, Tater. You can do it. Keep pushing. Come on. You just never get a day off. So that's where it'll be really, really difficult. You can do it, buddy. Got it? Come on, push. That's the way to use that straw. Good job, bud. Uh-oh. Lost Todd on that one. Hey, you say hi, Tater? We got Buzz over here still. He's still here hanging out. I wish I have so many people that would love to volunteer, but unfortunately they just haven't. They just don't live live in the area. So I got to find those kind of people that live in the area that want to help me. So I really appreciate that you would love to volunteer. If you have a sanctuary, you know, any of you guys, wherever you live, if you have a sanctuary near you, it is a great way to help. Um, if you have a few hours every Saturday or one evening a week or whatever it is, all the sanctuaries have different volunteer opportunities, and it's such a way to help out. Yeah, the boys have definitely learned. They definitely have learned the word push, so they know that when we say that, um, that's what they're needing to do. Kind of, fight that. Kind of pull all the strength with it from within to be able to push up. So, um, they've kind of learned that. There's times when they fall and they kind of look at us and they can sometimes melt your heart, and they're like, really, like, can't you just help me up? And of course we do. We don't make them get up every single time. um I can't. It has to be really, really hard sometimes when you just can't keep your balance all the time, and you're gonna have that for the rest of your life. But they really have coped with it like just so tremendously. Right, Buzz? Say babe. They are strong, right? Yeah. All right. I try to move over here again. You guys cannot have to see butts, but you can see some faces. Right, Tater and Cat? Uh-oh. Boy. Buzz really has a hole in that corner here. I spend for one. Haven't got to talk to you in a while since we haven't gone live. You guys have any other questions? Trying to think what else is going on right now. Oh, so today's Willow's 6-month birthday. Oh, I do have a question. I'll come back to Willow in a second. So Pam, you're asking if Todd has horns. That's a great question. So apparently, not apparently, he is polled, what they call polled, which means his horns will never come in. So um, you can kind of feel them or feel like where they would have been, but um, he will never have horns like Tater does. So I think I asked my vet, like, if it's I don't know a huge amount of like kind of the background on what like the rarity of having goats that are polled, but I asked them if it was rare or rarer if one has horns and one doesn't, like this. And they did kind of agree that it was not super common. So they have a lot of unique attributes between the two of them. So question is, do they like the hay or do they like the straw? Um, I swear it's some days the straw and some days the hay. They do eat a lot of this straw. This straw is, and I didn't really, I got the straw to be more like padding and bedding, but it ended up being a really high quality straw, and it's almost hay, I guess you would say, in the big scheme of things. So I think that's why they like it so much. I did bring in some other hay, which you can see above Tot there. And so they've been munching on that. So they kind of go back and forth between the two things. They do love their leaves and they love some different grasses. So like today when they've been in all day, I've been bringing in just little clumps of some grasses that they like, and they eat that right up. So today I was starting to say so today is Willow's 6-month birthday. So it's hard to believe that it's been 6 months since she was born, and that crazy, crazy day that I had when she was born. But the vet came out today. Just ironically, it ended up being today to give her her first round of vaccines because they have to be 6 months old. And the vet saw her and going to see what Buzz is doing. He's checking out to make sure that everything's good up there. Um, so they listened to her and all that good stuff. So everything looked really good. They think she's at a great weight, and they'll end up coming back in a month now from today, just so that they can give the booster shots um, for the vaccines that she got today. And then at the 6-month mark, uh, she actually starts getting weaned from Olive. So that's I'm gonna probably start a little bit of that tomorrow, where I start to separate the two of them. Um, my vet suggested sort of doing half day separated, half day together for a month, and then doing another month of them totally separated. And then Olive, um, once Olive dries up, then they would go back together kind of forever. So I'm not so sure how it's going to go when they get separated. I think my guess is Willow is going to be fine, and Olive is going to be in a panic. That's my guess. So we'll see how that kind of goes. Um, Means that she's just growing up, which is good, but it's always that little catch-22 sadness that she's becoming a big girl. So she was really good with the shots today. We just all were like sort of kind of humming and rubbing her like face and sort of distracting her so that when the shot went in, she didn't really uh, mind it too much. And she kind of backed up a little bit on the first two, but by the third one, she actually just stood there for us. So she was really good. Yeah, and so if you guys didn't, if you, I haven't put it on YouTube yet, but if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, on Wednesday, we ended up rescuing a mini mare, a little miniature horse, um, and a, I guess it apparently is a possibility that she's pregnant. So come the spring, most likely, we really have no idea far along she would be, but potentially in a couple months, we could be welcoming another new baby to the farm. So it's going to be possible that we've rescued, you know, two little ones versus just her. So it'll just depend if she's pregnant. Either way, she looks like she's a sweetheart. She's beautiful, and um, I've been had my eye on her. It kind of I wasn't really. I honestly wasn't sure I could take on trying to help another animal right now with everything going on with Tater. But my heart was just saying I just couldn't get her out of my mind. And I always, I kind of always play it off in my mind that like if that Tater or whoever it, is kind of, you know, sort of more in the forefront of, what's going on with them, that like I kind of just look to them and I just know that they would want me to help another animal like I helped them. And that's kind of how I felt like I needed to do it. So yeah, so we'll see. My only experience with miniature horses is Chester. Um, and Chester, from what I've gathered, is not a typical miniature horse personality because he's such a sweetheart. He's feisty, but he definitely is, you know, really, really, really sweet. So, but from the little bit of video that I did get to see of her, she also looks really sweet. So I'm really excited. Her name is Short Stuff, and that really is her name, apparently. Um, so she's definitely a cutie. So the question is about Fred joining Olive and Willow. So the reason, so we wanted to wait until Willow was being weaned before we put Fred in the mix because we weren't sure if Olive would be protective of Willow with Fred, even though they're fence to fence and they seem totally fine with each other. It was just, since we weren't that far off of that situation, we just decided to wait. But meanwhile, I've ended up putting him with Trigger. I'm not sure. I think I did. There's Todd getting a drink. I can't remember what I've told you guys or not told you guys, but Trigger is with Fred now, and Trigger is one of our Palomino horses. Um, Trigger gets along with like every single animal on the farm. He is like the most laid back horse there is. And so I decided to put him with Fred to give Fred a buddy. And now Fred just follows Trigger everywhere. They're like two peas in a pod. So that's a great relationship. And I don't know if I made a mistake because I guess the plan was not necessarily to keep Trigger with Fred all along forever, but I might end up having to do that, which is totally fine. But to answer your question, I know I go around about and around about. To answer your question, when we're weaning Willow, um, I think I think for the first month, um, I'm going to attempt to see if I can do the separation at night and like have them right next to each other in stalls, and then have them together during the day. If that doesn't work, then Olive will actually go with Fred potentially in the next few days, and then Willow will stay with Goldie, and then I'll have them next to each other in fields, and then Trigger. I know Trigger will get along with Olive as well, so I'll let the three of them stay together. So it might be a mixture of that, and then when it gets to the month that I need to separate them completely, then um, I would put Fred with Olive and Trigger, and then have Goldie with Willow. And once that month is over and she's kind of completely weaned, then I very well might bring all five of them together. Um, so none of them really need they none of them should be on lush grass. Um, the donkeys really, they can even be in a dry lot if you don't have grass. So they're very, they don't need that lush grass. It's actually not like super great for them. Um, so because of that, if I put them all in the same field and the grass gets worn down, it really won't matter because none of them should be eating lush grass anyway. So yeah, Fred has quite the bray. Um, yeah, he lets one out as soon as he hears me kind of come out of the house every morning, and I'm sure it's because he can somehow hear me. Um, but I did ask my neighbor if they could hear him, and they're kind of like on the other side of like some, not super deep woods, but they're in an opening, but we have a bunch of trees in between us, and they sure enough can hear him, but they love it, so that's a good thing. Or hopefully they're not telling me otherwise. Yeah, it's a lot of coordination. You're always like rotating, thinking of how the animals can all be like best together, and you want to keep your fields. You want to keep them in good condition. You don't want them to get wore down in most cases. And so you kind of have a rotating of fields, and then you have rotating of who's going to be with each other. In this case, because of Olive and Willow, and um, so it's always a lot. It was just like the decision to kind of switch the horses with the steers, um, from like like kind of flip flop fields, which I did like a month ago maybe, where the steers, that being Bucket and Bailey and Miles and Journey, now that they're in the big field, um, like that was a big decision to kind of decide to do that, because obviously the horses were doing great in that field, and I loved having them in that field. It's right by my house. Um, but it just made more sense because the horses really couldn't eat that field down, and they really shouldn't eat that field down. So I've just put them in a little bit smaller field that still has plenty of grass for them, and um, uh, it gives the big boys even more grass to eat than they already had. So oh, so so spend for one. You're asking if the picture's great. So I'm actually on my phone. So I'm glad to hear that it's a lot better. I finally, now that like I'm in, if you guys didn't realize, I just got approved for, they call it the monetization. So sometimes when you watch our videos now, you'll see some ads, um, just trying to bring in a few dollars for the sanctuary. Um, but with that, once you get to the 1,000 subscribers, you also get permission to be able to go live on your phone. And so I just got my account updated like a couple days ago. So I'm super excited. So I'm glad to hear that the picture is really good. And so my question, a question was, how did I get started? Okay, I'm going to apologize in advance because the story is not like the shortest, but I'll try to like cut it down. But basically, um, I moved to a farm for the first time in my life about 10 years ago. I never had horses. I never had any farm animals, and decided to kind of to get a farm. But the idea was that I um, was trying to stay very close to where I was currently living, because my dad was going to be moving in with me, because honestly, because I just lost my mom. And so, um, with that, I moved about 10 minutes away, and after a year of looking, I found this farm, and I absolutely loved that farm, but I knew from the beginning that it probably was not going to be big enough for what I was going to end up needing. And so sure enough, after 7 or 8 years, it was not. And so the plan, like the big dilemma in my head, and it was, believe me, um, kind of just in the forefront of trying to make a huge decision in my life for a long time of, do I just stay at that farm? And I honestly can't really rescue anybody. I had started to rescue a few animals. And that's where Bucket came in, where in 2017, I decided to go to a livestock auction to save a life. And Bucket, a little day-old calf, was the life that I saved. And once I saved him, I really was full at my farm, but then it kind of inspired me, like, I got to do this. I really got to do this. So I was still a few months of going back and forth in my mind to see if I could really do it. That was in March of 2017 when I got him. And by August of 2017, I started to look for a new farm. And, but this time I told my family and my friends that I was going to look wherever I needed to go to find the farm that I love. And I looked in, I think, 6 different states. And I ended up here in Virginia. And so I looked at this farm in March of 2018. I looked at it for literally an hour. Um, but when I was on the road that's out front of my farm and I looked into the farm, like, I knew that this was the one. So when I pulled in, I kind of wanted a sign that it was going to be the right farm, because I just was scared to death to move to a new state. But so I looked at it for an hour. We walked around, and the next day I put a contract on it. I drove around the town for 10 minutes after I looked at it, and um, I had to get home. I had to drive 4 hours back home to feed my horses that night. So I couldn't, like, take a lot of time to kind of drive around and see what was around or anything like that. So it was definitely probably the craziest decision. That I'm not a super spontaneous person, so that was probably definitely the biggest spontaneous decision of my life. And here we are. I'm just over 2 years old now, and um, so 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 yeah, the livestock auctions are extremely tough. I literally sat in the parking lot crying. Um, I had seen some other sanctuaries, go to them, and I knew I was gonna be heartbroken because I couldn't save every single life that I was gonna see that night. Um, so definitely one of the toughest things that I put myself through. Um, I honestly, so that was, over 3 years ago. There was a lamb um, that I went to bid on after I already had gotten Bucket. And I was like, I had said to myself I could only, like, bring home like one animal, just because I'm only one person. So, but I can to this day still see that lamb's face. I just waited too long, and somebody else bid on her, and they just, like, closed the auction. So there's some faces you can just never get out of your mind. So thank you, Colate 81 Cat. I appreciate that. My mom was definitely the animal lover between my parents. I got, and my dad will know. um, will admit, like, I got it all from her, not him. um, and even though he did end up living with me at the farm for a lot of years, he's not living with me right now, but he's learned to absolutely love the animals. And the goats ended up being his absolute favorite. So when I ended up getting Rocky and Ripley a year apart, where we bottle fed them because of them needing to be bottle fed. Um, he just, he helped with bottle feeding those babies, and he just fell in love. And so he was here and visited at the beginning of the summer, and he got to meet these boys and fell in love. So thank you for watching the ads. I really appreciate it, for not just us, but for all of us. Yeah, losing a parent is it's just, it's hard. It's just something that you never get over. Because my mom's been gone now for 11 years. It feels like it was yesterday. Um, and the and I don't want to make people cry or anything, but it was uh, it was very it was weird, and this is probably what drives me so much every single day. But um, we had a chance to sort of say goodbye to her before she passed away, and like my mom and I talked about having a farm, like at different times in our life, and she always wanted a farm, and but we had this we had this like family compound. Like my parents had a little bit they had 8 acres when I grew up, and they ended up splitting their land up, and they gave each of the kids a lot, and so we literally all lived next to each other in what we called the family compound. And um, it was awesome. But when sh when we never I we knew, my mom and I knew we could never get the farm because we could never leave the family compound. And so, um, I don't know, we hadn't talked about it in a long time, and one of the last things I got to tell her was that I was gonna get her our farm. And, sure enough, like, that's, I guess a couple months later, I was starting to look for a farm, and it's it's sort of what drives me every day. Like, I hope to goodness that she is able to see all the animals, because my goodness, she would have loved them all. Thanks, Pam. See you later. I think Buzz might be coming back. You out there, Buzz? Yeah, that was a good catch. Yeah. So I thought the boys were gonna like snuggle with me while I did this go live thing. Um, they've been eating little machines. Oh, I am so sorry, Spin, for one, for that. Yeah, I can imagine. Or I can't imagine. That has to be super tough. So the question is, will I be able to get that $sign under chat for donations? That's a really good question. As I said at the beginning of this, I'm still learning, like, a lot about YouTube, and I know there's, um, different things that I'm able to probably do that I'm not doing, and it honestly, comes down to time. I just don't have enough time to try to figure it all out. So I do as much as I can, but, obviously, um, that would be a good thing to have for you guys, while we're doing chat. So, not that you know, I don't mean it that way. Like, if you guys wanna donate, that would be amazing, but at least make it convenient for you if you do. Um, so I will check into that. I know there's definitely some other things on YouTube that I can do that, um, will just be better for the channel it's in itself, um, and I don't get to post videos, regularly on YouTube yet. It just takes a great deal of time to put all those videos together, especially when I do the longer ones, if they have, like, multiple clips on them. When I can kind of just, if Willow runs around for 3 minutes in a row and I don't have any editing to do, they're the kind I end up getting time to kinda get to post a little bit more often. That's really great to know. Cool 81, so thank you. I appreciate that for letting me know that. And thank you, Bellis. I appreciate that about my mom. So you guys have any other questions? Now the problem will be when I actually do go live, through the night, is that I can't have my phone out here. Um, so I have to, do some investigating on that part of how I can get the picture to be good, but have my phone in the house. Oh, thank you. I'll try to, probably, like I said, we'll probably, just go live here for a little bit longer, and then, I don't know if tomorrow I have no idea what the weather's like tomorrow, but maybe I'll be able to do, some more live from my phone, during the day, so it'll be a lot, like, brighter. I'm not sure if it's supposed to rain again or not. Seems like you always are looking at their butts. Right, boys? There's Tatman. I sure hope that too. Um, I'll work on getting another phone. That's cool. Thanks, Carrie, for letting me know that. I'm not quite sure. I'll be interested to watch this back because, like, I'm not sure how close up I really am from what I see on my phone. I'm just curious if you guys are seeing something different than what I see on my phone. Because, like, right now I can see both of them. Come on, Tater, push up. You push up? You got a good spot there, though. You look really comfortable. You push up. There you go. You got it. You got it. Get those legs under you. There you go. I'm glad you guys like their butts. So the question is, um, oh, you're seeing both too. Thanks, Bellis, for letting me know that. How did Tater and Tot get to be with me? So the they were on a farm that was breeding goats, and they reached out to Lawson's Heart, which is an Instagram account that is ran by Goats of Anarchy. And what that account is like a lot of sanctuaries follow it because they post typically special needs babies that need home or need help because they can't rescue every single one that that people reach out to. So we kind of network together um, through Lawson's Heart, and it's awesome that Leanne at Goats Anarchy kind of kind of does that because it obviously saves more lives, and that's the ultimate goal. So Tater and Tot um, were posted on there, and they were in Virginia, and it was just I saw them, and they were they were you end up kind of reaching out to the owners, and they just they weren't able to kind of keep them based on them having most likely neurological issues, which they kind of felt like that's what was going to be the case. Hi, Buzz. And but they could see the spark in them that they wanted to live, and so they wanted to give them that chance. um, so one of someone that follows us, Kelly, I'm not sure if she's on or not, lives a few hours away, and she was nice enough to coordinate transport for them, and met the farm owners that had Tater and Tot, and she brought them here to us. So they were 1 week old when we got them, and they were obviously really really tiny, and they could hold themselves up a little bit standing up, and they could maybe take a step or two, but it was pretty much a step or two and then fall, a step or two or fall, and sometimes they couldn't even get a step in before they would fall. But they fought really hard in the beginning of um, just bouncing back up and keep fighting through it, and then all of a sudden they just started taking, longer strides and walking more steps in a row, and to where they were running and frolicking, and here they are. Yeah, so Carrie, yeah, they could barely, I mean, the video I saw before I rescued them, it was kind of heartbreaking. You could see that they were fighting so hard to stand up, and they just kept falling over. So it was more of like they had the strength to stand up if they could prop themselves or lean into something, but they just really weren't able to do it on their own. And like Tot definitely had a lean to him, especially with his head and his neck, and that definitely, like, he always fell the same way almost 99% of the time in the beginning. Um, and that like that lean he's like actually grown out of. Um, so now he can fall both ways, and he can get up both ways from both ways. Yeah, I love Leanne. Leanne was definitely one of the very first sanctuaries I followed, well before I started Little Buckets. Um, and so I learned a lot from from following her, and she definitely does an amazing job with all her babies. It's just unbelievable. So I didn't know if you guys had, or Carrie, thanks. I didn't know if you had seen it or not. So yeah, it's actually just watching it today. I was going back through just to see it, and it's just kind of mind-boggling how little they were and how far they've come. It's just awesome. You guys ever gonna like stop eating? Huh? Mr. Tot, Mr. Tater? Yeah, it was back, if you wanna find the video, it's back from, it's in May. So, well, I really appreciate you guys spending your Friday night with Tater and Tot and myself and Buzz. It's super, super sweet of you guys. And I'm super excited that this going live on my phone worked, that I was relatively able to do it. Just got to remember to turn all my notifications off, and then we're good. You gonna eat that hay now, Tot? You can see how that's hay in those little buckets, so they're going back and forth between the straw and the hay. So hopefully we'll get some sunshine. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks, Carrie, for watching. I appreciate it. So hopefully we'll get some sun over the weekend, and I'll be able to go live from outside, um, either with these guys or with um, who knows who we would go live with. Well, I appreciate that. So I will. I'll try to figure out what the weather's gonna do, and then I'll try to post it like a relative time in my stories on Instagram and Facebook if we're gonna go live or not, like a rough time of what we would do and who we're gonna be with, and then we'll go from there. And then hopefully, maybe I can figure out a different camera situation in here. If not, we'll just go with what I have for now, and we'll be going live here at night again in a few days. So I sure will, Robin. You guys are welcome. So you guys, again, I really appreciate you spending the Friday night with us. Have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll be talking to you guys again sometime maybe tomorrow. So have a great night. Say bye, boys. Say thanks for watching us. Can you stop eating to say that? Say bye. Oh my goodness. Yeah, get to bed. Get some rest. Thanks, Ben, for one. I'll see you guys. Have a great night. I'll work on that cool lady one. Thanks.